In today's video, we're going to turn this board into a nice rustic display of these European skull mounts. I've had these skull mounts hanging on the wall, like the ones that you can see in the background behind me. And I want to do something nice, something that you can hang at your cabin, at your ranch, or even at your home. I've got all my tools ready, and I'm specifically going to show you 3 tips that'll help make this a nice rustic European skull mount display. Let's get started. The first thing we need to do is get the spacing correct so that we cut the length of board. So I've just laid the board on the ground and I've put the skulls spaced in such a way that they'll all 3 fit. Ultimately, I'm going to find a spacing between each that is even. I cut the board to 36 inches. It just so happened I had a 6-foot board, so now I'll actually be able to make 2 of these, which is nice. My first custom tip for you is to use a hole saw. We've got I think this is a 1-inch hole saw right now. You can use any size, give or take around 1 inch. And what we're going to be doing with it is coming to the corner of the board, cutting out notches. So that's going to give the board a little extra feature, a little more flair than just being a standard square board. That's going to make this project look a little bit nicer. We've got all the corner circles cut out. There you go, that's what they look like. So we've got our board ready. The second tip is to make this thing look rustic. Our first technique is to use this 2x4 that I've got screws ran through. We're basically just going to beat our board until we like the look that it's got. Let me show you. If you've never done that before, this is a great way to make a nice clean board look a little more rustic and used. What we're going to do next to make this board look more rustic is actually use a cutting wheel. I've got a grinding blade on it right now. We're going to crank her up, run it all over the edges, different things, let it run around, see what kind of scars we can get going on the board. There you go, you can see some really nice scratch marks. I really let the grinder to it in a few spots, and it just makes it age a little bit better. Now what we're going to do to age this board is use fire. Isn't that awesome? You almost could just leave it like that and be done, but we're going to keep going. We're going to hit this board with some stain and get it ready for the horns. My third tip of our rustic European skull mount display is the actual hangers for the skulls themselves. You saw earlier in the video I had those skulls up on the wall and they're just laying flat, hanging on a hook with a zip tie. Let me show you what I've got for you. These hooks you can get off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. And what they do is they allow the nose of the skull to hang out into the air in more of a natural head position, and that puts the antlers on display much, much better. You can see I've already got these on our board. Everything's looking really good. I like how this is coming out. We're going to put it up on the wall and see how she looks in action. This is the hanger that I put on the back of our display. A simple one that I got at Home Depot. You can pick them up at Hobby Lobby or anywhere that sells anything like that. Look at that. It is so awesome. I love this. I spaced each of the antlers out 1 foot. The top and the bottom one are 6 inches from the very end. I think it came out wonderfully. So there you have it, folks. DIY rustic European skull mount display. We'll see you next time.